Never know how much I love you, never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, a fever all through the night. Sun lights up the daytime, moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name, and you know I'm gonna treat you right. You give me fever.
KwaZulu-Natal South Coast is changing. There has been exceptional development and growth, with a resultant influx of people. The reading habits of readers have changed, and the fever has changed in accordance with these habits. The fever is the paper more and more people are reading, because the people who come here have no habitual reading habits. They are not locked into an institution like our opposition, which has stayed much the same over years and years, and not grown with the region. Sky Blue Media has more than 60 employees, and as an employer has not only had an impact on people's lives in the community, but has contributed to our Rainbow Nation by having 24 black, 10 Indian, 26 white and 29 women as employees. Our product reflects this diversity, and we cater for everybody on the South Coast. Our offices in Port Shepstone are as highly visible as our brand, and have in fact become a landmark on the corner of Aiken and Colley Streets.
Welcome. This is where the passion for the South Coast lives. My name is Greg Osmond, and I'm part of the passionate team that produces 6 community newspapers out of these offices in Port Shepstone. Sky Blue Media has 2 publishing divisions of their newspapers. The KwaZulu-Natal Publishing Division encompasses South Coast Fever and there's Griqualand Fever. Our Eastern Cape Division, which concentrates on developing the emerging reader and the emerging market within the Eastern Cape. These publications are extremely successful, and they are in a dual language, namely Xhosa and English. Our fever publications are tailor-made to circulate within specific geographic areas that deliver results for advertisers, but more importantly, they give the immediate community what they need to know about issues that affect their lives. South Coast Fever has now been operating for 10 years and delivering to the local community what we do best. I take your minds back for those of you who have supported us from the beginning. 10 years ago, I approached many of you here present tonight to advertise and convince you to support this idea of a second newspaper in Port Shepstone that the Moss family was producing. Not only is the Fever 10 years old, my son was born 2 weeks into producing the first issue of South Coast Fever. I have seen these 2 babies grow, namely South Coast Fever and my son, and I'm proud to say that they both have developed into unbelievable characters. Many of you will remember how the Fever was in its early days to what it is today. Many of you will also remember how the South Coast was 10 years ago and it is today. With that in mind, South Coast Fever has definitely grown, and I guarantee you the growth hasn't stopped. Fever Publications has given advertisers an advertising footprint that gives them results. Our advertising department has been extremely successful in developing South Coast Fever and increasing our advertising content.
10 years ago, we battled to get people to advertise with us. And now the phone doesn't stop ringing. You can see that the paper has changed and it is a better product. And advertising does pay.
A very interesting fact is that here tonight I have seen a number of advertisers who are placed their first advert in the South Coast Fever some 10 years ago and have advertised from then until now uninterrupted. To those of you, I thank you for your support. The South Coast Fever circulates in excess of 40,000 copies a week. Free newspapers are a worldwide trend. Make no mistake, free newspapers in 10 years' time are going to outweigh paid newspapers tenfold. With this in mind, the South Coast Fever is positioned in the right place for the future. A simple fact is that biggest national advertiser advertises in the South Coast Fever and no other local newspaper. The interesting fact is that this advertiser has no habitual relationship that clouds their vision when they place the advertising. This advertiser has done extensive research, which resulted in them choosing the South Coast Fever as a vehicle for their advertising over 18 months ago. The resultant fact is that the growth that their stores has achieved in their particular areas has been astounding. This company attributes the success and the growth of their store to the South Coast Fever's advertising penetration. Our advertising department works extremely hard on a day-to-day basis to convince advertisers in our local market that South Coast Fever is the vehicle to carry their advertising if they want results.
Liz Dobbin, Sales Executive, Fever Publications. Size does count. We sell to an audience of over 200,000 people on a weekly basis. We have become the leaders in the advertising field. We brand, we promote, we sell, we grow your business. The proof is in the pudding.
The quality of our product, of course, has played a crucial and decisive role in our success.
Let me say at the outset, I firmly believe there is space for two newspapers on the South Coast. The one, the more traditional paper, that has been filling a specific niche for donkeys of years. Namely, besides the running news coverage, it covers a wide spectrum of social events, photos, etc. over the whole of our region. That paper at the moment is our opposition. The other, a young, vibrant community newspaper that has made a name for itself as the true watchdog of the community. That's us. A newspaper that concentrates more on controversial issues, likes to challenge vested interests, and believes in fearless but fair journalism. We have been getting an overwhelming response from our readers because of this. We get daily phone calls from readers to this effect. They love what they call the lively vibe of the Fever, which is the result of our incisive journalism, attention-grabbing letter page, our cartoon, which incidentally is rated by experts as in the overall top 3 in the country, the columns Wouter se Watergat, and Pebble in My Boot, and of course the Smile a While photo. Our journalists have been fortunate to be honorably mentioned in the prestigious Sanlam Awards for community newspapers regularly, and the Fever has actually been a category winner for 4 successive years. No mean feat, and something that has put us firmly on the map, not only on the Hibiscus Coast, but nationally. Another edge that we have is our superb and unsurpassed printing quality. The Fever is being printed on the state-of-the-art press of the Natal Witness in Pietermaritzburg, the same press that handles other prestigious publications in the Witness and Media 24 group. And of course, it shows. Our journalists are young, well-trained and enthusiastic, and represent our Rainbow Nation down to the T. They are guided by old hands and have succeeded in coming up with several scoops in the recent past. Our product is indeed our pride, because we know we have really made a difference. How do we know that? Our readers tell us so. The journalists of the South Coast Fever are very proud of what they have achieved over the past few years. Number one, satisfying the information needs of the South Coast, and secondly, very importantly, providing an advertising vehicle second to none.
Hi, my name is Greg Nota, editor of the Eastern Cape publications, which are Isolomozi fever, Tata fever, Uvoleto fever. The fever has extended itself to the Eastern Cape, covering areas from Zamba down to Port St. John's, Mount Elif, Tabankulu, Mthatha, Butterworth, and Ngcobo, serving the community with news, specials, and then, of course, it benefits the advertiser to reach a greater market in these areas.
South Coast Fever's involvement in the community and the support of the local community events has helped the paper and the coast to develop and grow. Our billboards, our functions that we organise, the events we sponsor, are all with the main aim of growing the South Coast, growing this Ugu region and promoting the events, which in turn will deliver in the terms of revenue to our advertisers who have businesses in the areas. Our marketing department, managed by Debbie Ballios, has done extremely well in helping us promote the Fever brand, and more particularly promoting the South Coast of the place where things do happen.
I agree with our MD that through our marketing endeavours, we enrich the South Coast community and promote local business and tourism. For this reason, we are committed to making Fever the #1 community newspaper brand in South Africa.
We are now moving to our production department. This department, commonly known as the salt mine of the organisation. People in this department work extremely late hours to put the paper together. The Fever has grown in pagination fivefold, which necessitates late nights on Mondays and Thursdays, sometimes very late, staff leaving here in the early hours of the next morning. This department does not only produce the South Coast Fever, but another 7 newspapers as well, 5 of which are within the group and 2 of which are external clients.
Hi, my name is Shirley Lockyer. I'm the production manager of South Coast Fever. It's true what Greg says. The volume of work is tremendous for us in our department to get through on such a short time to get the paper out to you, the community. I thank my staff and their dedication for putting out a paper from Monday to Wednesday, for the volume that we have to go through for our deadline. And I also thank you, the community, as well. Thank you very much.
Your product is only as good as the people who work with you. I am really blessed that I have an extremely passionate, competent, and energetic staff that are committed to growing the Fever brand, and they put the job before themselves. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my staff for their huge commitments and efforts they have provided on a weekly basis to make the Fever the quality product it is. Many of us here tonight don't realize how highly regarded the Fever is amongst its peers in the country. The growth of the South Coast Fever in particular, the sheer bulk that we have to deliver on a weekly basis is incredible. I can remember in September 1997 delivering the first newspaper of South Coast Fever to many of you here present tonight. I used my Bantam Bakkie. It was 24 pages, 3,000 copies, and it took up the half of the back of my Bantam Bakkie. I drove from Heberdean to Port Edward, delivering it to all the shops. Now, it's a totally different picture. 10 years later, we have a fleet of 8 vehicles, which on a weekly basis distributes in excess of 110,000 copies a week between Scottburgh and Butterworth. A huge distance to distribute to on a weekly basis. The South Coast Fever weighs more than 25 tons of newsprint each week, which necessitates a committed and extremely competent distribution staff. They pick up the newspapers in Pietermaritzburg and deliver it through the evening on Wednesday and Thursdays, so you have your paper first thing on Thursday morning. No mean feat. As you can see from our vehicles, we are equipped to cater for this bulk, and Sky Blue Media has invested huge capital resources to make sure that our distribution is effective, quantifiable, and delivers the required results. In order to mark our 10th year birthday, what present could we give to the local South Coast community to thank them for the years of support from readers and advertisers alike? It is fitting that we can give to you an interactive website called feveronline.co.za, where you will be able to interact with your local community, receive news, post your views, discuss different issues in our editors' blogs, see your kids and family and friends on the website. This is a new project of Sky Blue Media's, and we really feel it's going to make a huge difference in the life of people on the South Coast. I invite you to click onto www.feveronline.co.za and interact with us on a daily basis. This is the way of the future. Fever is leading you into the future. In concluding, I would like to thank the Moss family for their involvement in establishing and growing the South Coast Fever over the years. In particular, to Kirsty, Meg and Tansy, I thank you. To my family, my wife and kids, I thank you for allowing me to do what I love best, produce a newspaper on a weekly basis. To my staff, who are wonderful people and have the passion to make the product the best they can, I thank you with all my heart for your dedication and commitment to the South Coast Fever. To my colleagues and friends of the Natal Witness, I would like to thank you for your guidance, knowledge, years of experience, and commitment to making the South Coast Fever an unbelievable product. To the number of friends here present tonight who have come from Cape Town, Durban and Joburg as part of the AIDS 24 team, I would like to thank you for attending tonight and more importantly for promoting our brand every day of the week. Finally, to you, the readers and the advertisers, I thank you for the years that you have supported us and the journey that we have taken with South Coast Fever. And I encourage you to continue the journey as you ain't seen nothing yet.
Somebody